This is Donna.
And this is TJ.
We're the Hills.
And this is
Dinner
and a Marriage. Welcome back.
Hello.
My wife is mean, and I'm lean.
Wow.
Her name's Irene, because she's got one short leg.
What? Isn't that Eileen, not Irene?
Not if you're Asian.
Oh. Ba-dum-pa.
Ah!
Huh.
And it's like that on today's episode.
Yeah. And we're late on our podcast. We've had our mother-in-law, I keep saying our, like it's our. It's TJ's mom, my mother-in-law. Good gracious. In town, and yeah, we just haven't done it. We've been go, and I've had to work, and yeah. So here we are. She took the kiddos out to eat, and yeah, we're podcasting.
We could be way cooler, except for anybody in any type of military or whatever would just say that it's called piss poor planning.
Yeah, kind of. But that's all right.
They should have blocked out some time, got our thing done.
Yeah.
We didn't do that.
No.
We just roll in here like
there's so many
we're
times
crazy
that we're
people.
like, today we're going to get this and this and this, and then we just have a wrench thrown in it and it just doesn't work out. Like
life.
the weather or whatever, because you were going to scrape for grass today. I don't think you got to that, did you?
No, but that was, well, I mean, it was one of those things where I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. But then I'm like, really? Do I really want to put that much effort into like doing grass when I got this job to start next week and blah, blah, blah. Went through all the scenarios in my head and I completely
He talked himself out of it.
Convinced myself that it was not a good idea.
Okay. Let's get down to the truth. Okay. And plus, it was probably your first day alone in a long time.
Oh, all by myself?
All
Or
by myself.
Oh my God, we should never do that again. I have now learned that on our podcast, neither one of us should ever sing.
I can't help it. You have the headphones on. I just want to sing.
Somebody gave her a
There's
microphone.
a microphone in front of me. I want to sing. Okay.
That's pretty funny.
All right. Well, I'll sing a little and do shop talk. Shop talk, shop talk. Let's do a little shop talk with Donna. Woohoo! So like, follow, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you know when we are on, when we've dropped. If you listen to this on any podcast platform, anything you subscribe to, that's where we'll be. Podcasts, we do try to do it every week. We have been very inconsistent, and we apologize. Then we also have our video podcast on YouTube. That is at Dinner and a Marriage. Bum-ba-da-dum-ba. So for the full experience, if you're listening, jump on over to YouTube and please like and follow and subscribe.
You really have to apologize for being disorganized and inconsistent.
Yeah, kind of.
Nah.
Meh. It's the way of the world. Okay, so today
Listen.
we are going to talk about, instead of ourselves, we're going to talk about something that's pretty popular right now.
Well, it's just because it's kind of, I don't want to say a phenomenon, but I think good for this guy and whatever. But I have my own little points that I would like to talk about with this individual or about this individual, whatever.
So, go ahead.
So we were going to talk about Oliver Anthony. He has sprung onto the music scene. Songs like #1 on iTunes. You know, he did this like cool recording in the middle of the woods with his dog. Just speaks the truth. I'm a complete metalhead. This guy's music is not my cup of tea. I like what he's talking about, though. He's definitely spoke upon things that everybody in the world or in our nation can relate to, even if you don't completely agree with it. But if you listen to his song, like the whole thing, because I didn't even I'm like one of those people where when you said the other day, you're like, I don't know if how I really feel about that song and whatever. And there's always this snippet, and it's like the first verse of his song that's played everywhere that you hear it. They actually played it on the radio the other day. We're driving over to Sholo to go meet you for lunch.
Oh,
Grammy's in the
okay.
car and whatever, and we listened to the whole song. And I was like,
And which song is that?
Richmond, north of Richmond.
Richmond, north of Richmond.
Yeah.
Okay.
And all the rest of the verses, he pretty much nails it all.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree with what
if
he's
you
saying.
listen to what he's saying, and it's just truth. I mean, I don't really care what side of whatever you sit on. It's just, everybody's finally now to the point where they're like, everybody says we're the freest country in the world, but really we're paying like 50% in taxes, and really everybody's just getting tread on, and our government does whatever we want. Whatever they want. And like, we're basically right now, I'm not even going to say basically, currently America is a banana republic. It's a complete false identity. We're not a republic anymore. We're not even really that democratic. And I think that more people need to voice their opinion and speak out about it, because there's going to be mass suppression when it comes to freedom of speech within the next few months, starting, not only then. And I truly believe it's going to be a thing, and people need to speak up. And like, I don't want to pick fights with people, and I'm not trying to, really. You gotta choose a side of the fence, and people need to
but the
choose the
problem is
side
right
that's.
now is there is no sides. The thing is that what they've done, all politics has done, is just pitted people against each other, when even if you have similar views, one little thing might be you disagree on, and then they start fighting with each other. It's so crazy. We're like
it is.
pit bulls in a ring.
Everybody
awful.
needs to realize and realign and get back to what the Constitution of the United States of America states. And then realize how far out of line our government has fallen, and then hold all those people accountable, or revolt, or do whatever. But we need to go back to what our Constitution says. And I'm not somebody that's like, total whack job, whatever. It just needs to be back to that. But this gentleman, Oliver Anthony.
Oh, wait, before you switch subjects.
Yep.
Because you brought up the Constitution, I just wanted to say real quick that there is in September National Constitution Day. And I might have brought this up before. I know you and I talked about it.
We have definitely talked about it.
Yeah. That if you are a parent with kids in public school, that maybe you could mention to their teacher or the principal and ask what they're doing for National Constitution Day. It is September 17th. And see if they're teaching the kids about the Constitution.
Or if they're like, I didn't even know that was a day, then slap them.
Well, let's not get violent. So,
I said slap.
Slapping is violence.
Oh my gosh. Were you ever a kid? You ever get slapped?
No, never.
Huh.
So anyways, but that's the thing. September 17th, reach out to your schools and see if they are teaching your children the Constitution. And if not, maybe you can. You can get onto the Constitution webpage, and they will send you a mini Constitution in the mail for free.
That everyone should carry in their pocket.
Well, everyone
or
should know
it could be like, reach out and slap me. Oh, we weren't going to sing anymore. That's horrible.
That's funny.
Right?
So, okay, so we are talking about Oliver Anthony, and if you haven't heard from him, about him, like TJ said, he has a song out right now that's in the top 100. and it's called Richmond, north of Richmond.
Yes.
Okay. He also has a lot of other songs.
They're all becoming really popular.
Yeah.
Because he's becoming very popular. The reason that we wanted to mention him and talk about this today is because not that we're cooler than him, but like so Joe Rogan has been kind of primarily very openly like anti-religion. He doesn't really like Christians. Like he's kind of in an unspoken way. I'm not saying he's out there attacking anybody. I'm not going to get up here right now and say that. But, he's very anti-religious in general, right? But
So is he an atheist?
I
don't know much about Joe
think
Rogan.
so, right? We're going to have a podcast and we're going to just speculate and not know because we didn't do any research because we're so awesome like that.
Wow.
I'm just saying in general, he's very critical of Christians and stuff and religion, and he's been like that for a very long time. But in the last, 6 months or so, he's had some people on. They've had religious discussions. He's like allowed people to like really talk about religion, talk about God. Yeah, but he had, I don't remember who he was talking to on his podcast when I saw this clip like last week. And he was like, no, did you hear about this Oliver Anthony dude? And he like legitimately was having some struggles with, alcoholism and some other things going on in his life, depression and whatever. And he said that he decided that he was going to give his life to Christ. And 30 days later, his song is #1 on iTunes.
That's awesome.
And he was like, can you believe that happened? But then he had Oliver Anthony on his podcast and like actually let him read from the Bible because he was asking him like, how did you go about really like what was it that really set you off to, change your life? And the guy's answer was awesome.
Yeah.
In general, aside from the Bible verse that he read, but he did a whole deal and he was like, I just basically decided that I had to stop being about myself and I had to start being about, something bigger than myself.
Right.
And I think a lot of people, and when the Bible talks about having idols before me or other gods before me or whatever, he was like, people can really worship whatever they want, whether it be their phone or food or just there's many idols. There's things that you can want so much in your life that it kind of like takes precedence over anything else. And, he said, I finally had to come to terms with the way that I wanted to just put myself behind that and go, because what he said, and it was pretty cool. And I mean, go look up Joe Rogan's podcast with this, with Oliver Anthony and check it out. Cause it was pretty awesome. But, he said, everybody has a master, whether you believe it or not. Like, I don't care how free you think you are. Basically, like at some point you are slave to something or worship something because you have to. And he said, I realized that I was doing that and I had to put why should I not basically just worship the one that I know is the higher power over everything instead of just myself or my own ego. And it was really powerful, his response.
Sounds pretty profound. So we want to play the clip where he reads to Joe.
You can do that, and if they had the other clip for like what he stated before that, but even Joe Rogan once he.
Well, I don't know where exactly this starts, but we'll go ahead and play it. And just to clarify, Joe Rogan's an agnostic. He's not an atheist.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Ironically, it's Proverbs 4:20, which I thought you would like. So if there's anything better,
Perfect. Read it.
Preach. My son, pay attention to what I say. Turn your ear to my words. Do not let them out of your sight. Keep them within your heart. For they are life to those who find them and health to one's whole body. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Keep your mouth free from perversity. Keep corrupt talk far from your lips. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Give careful thought to the paths for your feet and be steadfast in all your ways. Do not turn to the right or the left. Keep your foot from evil.
That's pretty fucking profound.
He's right. It's pretty profound.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely watch that whole thing if you're obviously interested in it. I think it was about a week ago, maybe, that you asked me if I'd heard his song, that song, Richmond. Oh my gosh, why? That's like a tongue
Richmond,
twister.
north of Richmond.
Thank you. It's just total tongue twister. And I listened to the song, and like TJ said, it's not like my kind of music generally. I like what he's saying. I like the message that he's putting out, and I definitely want to listen to some of his other stuff, which, that's great. That's how you get into the top 100. But
yeah.
See, there's so many people. This is what just blows my mind about everything, is that so many people clearly relate to what he's saying, being that he's in the top 100, like that small town. So many people relate to those things and say, oh yeah, that's what's happening. We really need to come together. Like, things need to change, but no one's putting their foot forward to do it.
No, but I think that it goes back to the amount of suppression that's out there. I believe in really cool theories.
Yeah, well, what
Right?
worries me about it is so many things are like made to be I don't know if we've been so suppressed our whole lives that everyone's like, oh, I don't want to hurt someone's feelings.
No,
I don't want to say that.
No, it's not that. I believe that with a whole bunch of the platforms that are out there via Facebook and Instagram and, everything Meta and all of the stuff that happened during the last election, just in general with meddling. Now,
Oh yeah,
I don't.
where they're into your stuff.
Well,
like
and
your phone listens to you.
That they're saying like, I believe that there was a lot of suppression in the last election. I'm just going to come out. Everybody can go, okay, so you're one of the crazy people. I'm totally one of those people. And I think that the more that stuff like this happens, and then people want to be like, oh my God, it's a phenomenon. No. Most of the country feels this way. Most of the country voted a certain way. Everything that's happening right now is a whole bunch of corrupt, evil stuff.
Yeah.
And if you have things like this happening all the time, and let's just say, I'm not even going to name another name, but let's just say this. This guy's popular for the next 2 years. More people like him and what they're talking about are the most popular thing for the next 2 years. Mm-hmm. And then Joe Biden's president again. Somebody's lying.
Yeah.
Is
sure.
all I'm saying, right? Like, for real.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't.
I don't care if you're right, left, middle, whatever. There is no way that you do not watch something that Joe Biden is saying, talking about, or whatever, and isn't like, he needs to be put into an old folks home. Because damn.
Dude.
So just today, he was walking off stage after talking, and a reporter said, hey, do you think he's going to run again? And Biden said, who? And he turned to someone standing by him and said, are you running? And the guy's all, no, sir, I'm not. He said, oh, okay. And he walked away.
He wasn't like, I'm walking in place.
Right? But I was like, if it's not on a teleprompter, he couldn't even have a conversation.
No, dude, I'm telling you, the whole thing with like when Pete Buttigieg had him come up and introduced him, Mr. President, and he straight seriously turns around and he's like, thank you, Booty Juice.
Booty juice. I'm gonna have to put that as an outtake.
Like, I
Booty
mean,
juice,
seriously
booty
though,
juice.
like, there's,
Oh my god.
can we just on all sides? And I'm not going to be a one side fits all or anything like that, right? But can we just say term limits?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to be in politics for more than 8 years, regardless of whatever you ever do. And you're not allowed to be in Congress or anything once you hit age 60. I'm just saying that because if you got some people and whatever, like, and I know that people would be like, oh my God, you know that you just said that Trump can't become president. I did. I absolutely did. Let's figure it out. Let's just make sure that people don't, we have to set a limit because some of the people in the ages that they're getting to and the way their minds are not with them anymore. And I'm not talking about Joe Biden. I'm also talking about like Dianne Feinstein.
Mm-hmm.
And like that whole thing is crazy. Like if you have to be like fully pushed, no one's trying to make fun of people in wheelchairs. Okay, let's just say that. But
okay, I think I found this clip. Do you want to hear it?
oh, I heard it and it's funny. But yes, the people want to hear it
The
too.
people want to hear it.
My great honor to introduce the President of the United States, President Joe Biden.
Thank you, Secretary Buttigieg.
And now it is my great honor to introduce
Thank you, Secretary Booty Juice. Oh my gosh.
At least he didn't call him Juicy Booty.
Oh my gosh. You know, though, it's so sad because everywhere else, America's a laughing stock.
Oh, when
It is
you
so
realize what it
stinking
is.
sad. Like, this used to be the greatest country, and now we're just a laughing stock.
Pretty much.
Super, super sad.
That's the way everybody's been taught for years and years and years, and we need to get back to what we were good at, and we were really good at like industrialized labor and building things and like
military. We
creating
used to have the best
jobs and
military.
like creating industry and like coming up with inventing things. Like the only person that does anything like that, like currently, that you would go, oh, what resembles the old United States of America and the attitude and everything, unfortunately, is Elon Musk. Wants to, I mean, granted, he wants to be like, I think that his whole deal is like, this is totally weird, so we need to go to Mars. But, you know, he's the only one that's still currently like, I'm going to invent new things, and I'm inventing these electric cars, and I'm doing whatever with Tesla, and I'm going to create rocket ships, and we're going to go to Mars, and I want to do a Hyperloop thing somewhere in Nevada where it's like the world's fastest train and all this stuff. Like, he is somebody that is inventive and like genuinely wants to create things and build things and create jobs. Nobody else.
It's so sad, though.
Yeah.
Like, why? I mean, I don't know, like, how his mind works and whatever, but then you kind of go, Elon Musk is kind of crazy, right? Like, there's some very odd things about Elon Musk, but then he seems like the only person that really wants things to move. Do you know what I mean? And not be like, oh, we'll just let the government do whatever. Like, really? Like,
There's nothing that is about to happen with the government being bigger and the government or the WHO or anybody trying to say that there's going to be another pandemic or
oh, that's insane.
or bringing back masks or trying to get people to like fall in line with some mandate. Like there's nothing productive about that, and there's nothing productive about the government getting bigger. The
For
only
sure.
portion of our government that should be the biggest and the most badass is our military.
Yes, 100%.
Aside from that, the government needs to shrink by like 50% because they don't produce anything. They're a waste. And our budget is blown. Our credit rating as a country has gone down again. Some people are like, well, that's just whatever it is.
No,
But
right
it's
now,
all
debt
bad.
is at an all-time high. Not as
Yeah.
bad as it was in 2008, that era, but it is almost there.
Yep.
And it's like, you could scream it from the rooftops and show people, like, this is what's going on. Here's, like, hard line, what's happening. And it goes back to that. History repeats itself. All those things happen again. But so many people are like, no, it's not like that. But really, it is. It is. Like, I read this post today and thought, this is so true. And it says, it didn't start with gas chambers. It didn't start with one party controlling the media. Oh, I'm sorry. It started with one party controlling the media, one party controlling the message, one party deciding what is truth, one party censoring speech and silencing opposition, one party dividing citizens into us and them and calling on their supporters to harass them. It started when good people turned a blind eye and let it happen.
Yep. It goes back to what I said like 3 podcasts ago when, you know, evil can flourish basically when good men do nothing. And we've done that for too long because everybody's been too comfortable. And it is a very unfortunate fact. And it's my fault and it's everybody else's fault that feels like I do, that we haven't done anything. The hardest part is everybody's been like, vote it out, vote it out, vote it out. And that hasn't worked.
Are so seriously overpaying politicians. Like,
It's not. This is what I'm saying. So the politicians do get paid too much. Yes. I don't ever believe that they should be able to vote themselves a raise, but what everybody else in every other country, they call lobbying. What that is considered is, bribery and corruption.
yeah.
Like straight up. Okay. That's all it is. But we lobby in this country and we try to be like, oh my gosh, it's just people are going to donate to my cause. No, people are swaying votes and trying to get people elected so they will do some stuff that will make these other people money. So if I could pay somebody 10 grand so that down the line I could make 100 grand, it's a pretty good deal. And that's what goes on in America all the time. That needs to be absolutely eradicated. Like,
Yes.
it shouldn't be like that.
Because
And
that's not what democracy
what
is.
has happened, though, is you have also politicians that are being able to pass bills and vote on things knowing that it's going to, say, make a certain energy sector or something in America blow up, where you're like, maybe that stock over there looks good. And I'm the one that's going to vote on that we're going to pass this measure. Well, you're allowed to then buy that for pennies on the dollar, knowing that the vote that you're going to cast is going to make it go up, right? So I
they're
don't believe
just
if you're in
making
politics,
money.
you should even be able to like buy stocks or even like invest your money in the stock market.
'cause
You
isn't
should
that
absolutely
insider
not be able to
trading?
do that. Long
Right?
and short of it, we can, what?
Isn't that insider trading?
It is, but it's a known thing, and now it's just swept under the rug, and no one cares. Long and short of it is this: both parties,
Is this?
all the way corrupt, and we need to undo it all and start over.
Yeah.
You
And
have the good and the bad, but not anymore. Now you just have the bad and the worse. The Republicans are in on all of it, and they just sit there and go, oh, well, we don't agree with that. And then sometimes, though, they will grow a backbone and they will say some hardcore things.
Right.
But
nobody does.
what is
anything.
amazing is it's been all these years, they've never done anything.
Right. That's the thing.
Right? Like,
There's so much talk.
but as a country, we haven't either.
Right.
And I believe we are on a very
precipice.
weird pendulum thing right now where things are going to get weird. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why I'm where I'm at. I'm not trying to like be the guy that's like Civil War and be a bunch of like craziness and whatever, right? But I'm at least right now currently in a place where if somebody is going to come over here and mess with me where I am currently, you went way out of your way. And if that happens, then that's called picking a fight.
Well, and I'm also to a point too, like this is the hill I die on, that like it's so hard not to finally just be like, enough is enough. Like, I don't know. It's
If they bring it back, do not make your kids wear masks in schools. Don't
please
let them do
don't.
that, please.
It's bad for them.
I know some people, I've read some stuff. Some lady in Colorado was like, oh my gosh, and they're going to bring back all this stuff in the comments. And she was like getting destroyed by some people. And they're like, it's just a mask. Like, it's because of you why it was so bad in the first place. And I don't get it. It's
I love
just
the
a
voice.
mask and whatever. Yeah. And guess what? And then it becomes a huge ass butt plug and you can't even walk around. And are you going to just be like, it's just a butt plug? Like, seriously,
Every time
like, stop.
somebody says though, oh, it's just a mask, all I can think of is those armbands that they made the Jews wear. Oh, it's just a
Or how bad my own breath smelled all day.
I don't get that.
You're in a mask.
Oh,
That's all you can really.
yeah. All right.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
I-
that's what I think of every time. Like, why in the world? I mean, is that what they said to them? Oh, don't worry about it. It just says what your religion is. Like, really? But it was more than
Yeah,
that,
right. Like,
wasn't
don't
it?
label people. No one really cares.
Right?
Like
You all don't
in
want us
America,
to
I know
label
for an
people.
absolute fact, 90% of people, they don't care like what your color is or what your ethnicity is or what religion you are.
Right.
And you bump into somebody in Walmart or they have a cool dog and you're like, oh my gosh, look at that, and blah, blah, blah. And you strike up a conversation. Most people don't care. Most people are cool. Most people just want to be cool people.
Yeah.
That is,
Live and let live.
yes, that is legitimately what is on most people's minds. And the divide is being created by the government.
And the media.
And it's all sideshow Bob stuff because if you can keep the people entertained and whatever, all the stuff like with Rome. But I mean, at the point in which it's going to be, America's going to fall. The United States of America is going to no longer be a country that America's not what it was. And it's not, unless there's a massive change, it's never going to be what it was ever again. And then it's going to become globalism and the WHO telling everybody what they can or can't do and everybody falling in line. And it's all going to be politicians making all the money. And all you're going to have is rich politicians and extremely poor people. That's all they want. They don't want anything in the middle. People need to understand how bad that is and why, when I've talked before on the podcast about the amount of debt that you have and basically being owned by somebody. And I get that there's things that you need to,
Under your thumb.
yeah,
Yeah.
that you need to have and things that you can do. But the American dream is not what the American dream is meant to be. And the American dream was always a lie. And it's a way for banks to make money. And anybody that was trying to get into home ownership and doing whatever and blah, blah, blah. Like, yes, there are certain times where it's better to own a house rather than rent. But what you need to do is you need to play that game as a game and get in and get out and sell that thing. Because paying on a mortgage for 30 years, no matter what your interest rate is highway robbery.
Yeah.
And people have been led down a dark path. And
Right now, like, there's so many things that, like, you can spring off of this, and we could totally go into more next
I could be
week,
here for
but
like 3 hours talking about stuff.
Because, like, the fact that you pay property tax on a property you
Is
own.
already bullshit.
Yeah.
Even like a
Right?
thing. And why? I already paid somebody taxes when I bought the property, and I paid cash for it.
So
Like,
why am I paying
this is,
taxes
it's
every
not,
year?
okay, so this is not something that
They're not
anybody should
maintaining
even be good
anything.
with. Like, somebody should go burn something down. Like, figure out a building that is a
Now
government
you're
building.
Just really going off.
Well, I don't care.
Okay, but I mean, we're
Yeah, you're
swing
right.
off.
But
That's why I
crazy.
said, like,
It's just crazy.
We can go on and on about stuff. The thing with the property tax, there's no even, because they're not doing anything for us. They're not maintaining anything. So there's no reason for us to have to pay that.
Oh, but it's going towards, most property taxes in most states they
Go towards paying the government.
Yeah, fire departments, which
Do nothing for us.
I know, which
Not for us.
typically property taxes go towards fire departments and schools.
Okay.
So, with everything that's going to be happening and the mandates and all the crap and whatever, if all that money goes towards schools, why my whole life did I always have to bring school supplies to a government funded agency that's supposed to, like, help my kids have education?
I've thought that too, and it
It's
just
crazy.
kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But we really went off on a tangent. But there so many things, like, they touch you, right? And you just want to get it out there. But 2 things to come off our podcast, right? Definitely go listen to Oliver Anthony's songs and him on on Joe Rogan. Good episode.
Well, and props to Joe Rogan for actually letting it be known that people can have religious views and be on his podcast, and
Yeah,
he's not trying to
and being
stifle that
open
anymore.
to
I
that.
think that's pretty awesome. So that was the main reason we wanted to bring it up,
And
because I
then
thought that
my
was cool.
second thing is vote for Biden.
Absolutely.
And the reason I say that is let's let it crumble. This needs to come crashing down in order for it to get fixed.
And it's
But I think
all of
you're
it's such a
right
bad
in saying
idea.
that.
You're not wrong though. I'm not gonna sit. This is I'm right and you're right, but you took the way more painful path.
Yeah.
If
But people have to see it. That's the
Well, you
problem.
can't
is
see
no
it
one.
yet.
There's so many people that don't. They're just blind to it.
oh my gosh,
I just don't understand it. Like it's right there. Oh my gosh.
that's the only thing is
Oh.
there's like a whole bunch of people in the world that are like,
We're not voting for the.
basically if there's Biden or Trump, they're like,
I just won't.
anybody
vote for
but
him.
Trump. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really care if somebody is going to come over tomorrow and cut my penis off. Like, I would just vote for Biden because I'm not going to vote for Trump. And the thought process makes no sense to me. But if there's more of those people in the world than I think, which there probably is, then maybe what you're talking about is correct. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll just sit over here and
But like you said, like,
Be like,
neither
ooh.
party is any good.
no, it's not. It needs to be eradicated and started over
But if
as
we
an
have
actual
another 4 years of
republic.
crazy,
And go back to the original United States Constitution. Everything needs to only be based upon what our original Constitution
and
was.
there might be haters out there, but they need to bring God back. Y'all need to pray
that was
more.
also in the Constitution. At some point, things are going to get so bad, even the people that don't want to pray are going to have to start praying, because they're going
Yeah.
to be sitting there like worried about
Yeah,
maybe really
something.
close to death, and they're gonna all of a sudden be like, I didn't even know I knew how to pray, and they're gonna have to.
They're gonna be on their knees.
Yep.
Yep. And that's it. Right?
Nutshell.
All right. God bless. Bye. And before you go, visit us on our social medias at Linktree/The Hills on Wheels, linktr.ee/The Hills on Wheels, no spaces.